Have you ever felt like the whole world was against you? Like your dreams were just that dreams, impossible to reach? Today, we're diving into one of the most incredible stories of all time. A story of betrayal, forgiveness, and the unbelievable journey of a young man named Joseph. His life reads like a blockbuster movie full of twists and turns that will leave you speechless. It all starts with a young dreamer, Joseph, the favorite son of his father, Jacob. He has these vivid dreams of his family bowing down to him. Now, telling your older brothers that they'll one day serve you? Not the best idea. His brothers were already jealous because of the special, colorful coat their father gave him. This jealousy boiled over until one day they couldn't take it anymore. They hatched a plan, threw him into a pit, and sold him to a passing caravan of traders heading to Egypt. They went back to their father, showed him the blood-soaked coat, and let him believe a wild animal had killed his beloved son. So Joseph, once the favored son, is now a slave in a foreign land. He's bought by Potiphar, a high-ranking official in Pharaoh's court. But here's where Joseph's character shines. He doesn't despair. He works hard with integrity and soon earns Potiphar's complete trust. He's put in charge of the entire household. Things are looking up. But then, disaster strikes again. Potiphar's wife takes an interest in Joseph. He, being a man of honor, refuses her advances day after day. One day, she gets aggressive, grabs his cloak, and he runs, leaving it in her hand. Scorned, she flips the story, accusing him of attacking her. Potiphar, enraged, throws Joseph into prison. From head of the household to the darkest dungeon. Can you imagine the despair? But even in prison, Joseph's gift doesn't leave him. He gains the favor of the prison warden and is soon helping run the place. While there, he meets two of Pharaoh's former servants, the chief cupbearer and the chief baker. Both have troubling dreams, and Joseph, with divine insight, correctly interprets them. The cupbearer will be restored to his position, and the baker will be executed. It happens just as Joseph said. He asks the cupbearer one thing: when you're free, please remember me. Mention me to Pharaoh. But once freed, the cupbearer forgets. Joseph is left to languish in prison for 2 more long years. Then Pharaoh himself starts having dreams. Dreams that no one in his kingdom can interpret. He dreams of 7 fat cows being eaten by 7 skinny cows, and 7 healthy heads of grain being devoured by 7 thin heads. He's deeply troubled. It's only then that the cupbearer finally remembers the young Hebrew man in prison. Joseph is summoned from the dungeon, cleaned up, and brought before the most powerful man in the world. Standing before Pharaoh, Joseph makes it clear the interpretation comes not from him, but from God. He explains the dream means there will be 7 years of incredible abundance in Egypt, followed by 7 years of devastating famine. He doesn't just interpret the dream, he offers a solution. He advises Pharaoh to appoint a wise man to oversee the collection and storage of grain during the good years to prepare for the bad. Pharaoh is blown away. He sees the wisdom and spirit in Joseph and says, "Can we find anyone like this man, one in whom is the Spirit of God?" In a single day, Joseph goes from prisoner to Prime Minister of Egypt, second in command only to Pharaoh himself. He's given a new name, a wife, and the power to save a nation. For 7 years, he oversees the storage of immense amounts of grain. And just as he predicted, the famine hits, not just in Egypt, but across the entire region. But Egypt is prepared. People from all over come to Egypt to buy food, because Joseph had the foresight to save. Now, guess who shows up looking for food? Joseph's 10 older brothers. They travel from their famine-stricken home in Canaan, leaving their youngest brother, Benjamin, behind with their father. They come before this powerful Egyptian ruler, bowing low, completely unaware that they are bowing to the very brother they sold into slavery years ago. Their own prophecy, which they hated, is coming true. Joseph recognizes them immediately, but they have no idea who he is. He decides to test them. Have they changed? Are they still the same cruel, jealous men? He speaks harshly to them, accuses them of being spies. To prove their innocence, they tell him about their family, their old father, and their youngest brother, Benjamin, back home. Joseph demands they bring Benjamin back to prove their story, and he keeps one of them, Simeon, as a hostage. The brothers return to their father, Jacob, with the grain and the terrible news. Jacob is heartbroken. He's already lost Joseph, he thinks, and now they want to take Benjamin, his only remaining son from his beloved wife Rachel. He refuses, but the famine is severe and the grain runs out. Judah, one of the brothers who originally suggested selling Joseph, steps up. He makes a solemn promise to his father, pledging his own life for Benjamin's safety. Reluctantly, Jacob agrees. So the brothers return to Egypt, this time with Benjamin. When Joseph sees his youngest brother, his full brother, he's overwhelmed with emotion and has to leave the room to weep. He then hosts a feast for them, seating them in order of their birth, which baffles them. He gives Benjamin 5 times the portion of food as the others. The tests continue. As they prepare to leave, Joseph orders his personal silver cup to be secretly placed in Benjamin's sack of grain. Shortly after they depart, he sends a steward after them to catch the thief. The cup is found, and the brothers are devastated. They are brought back to the city, terrified. This is the ultimate test. Years ago, they sold one of Rachel's sons, Joseph, without a second thought. What will they do now for the other, Benjamin? This is when Judah delivers one of the most powerful speeches in the entire narrative. He steps forward and offers himself as a slave in Benjamin's place. He explains the devastating effect losing Benjamin would have on their elderly father, who has already lost one beloved son. He shows true repentance, true change. He's willing to sacrifice his own freedom for his brother and his father. Seeing this, Joseph can't hold back any longer. He sends all the Egyptians out of the room, and through powerful sobs, he reveals his identity. I am Joseph. Is my father still alive? The brothers are speechless, terrified. They think he's going to exact his revenge. But instead, Joseph offers grace. He says, "Do not be distressed or angry with yourselves for selling me here, because it was to save lives that God sent me ahead of you." He sees God's hand in everything, turning their evil act into a means of salvation for countless people, including their own family. He urges them to hurry back and bring their father, Jacob, and all their families to Egypt to live in the fertile land of Goshen, where he can provide for them during the remaining years of famine. Pharaoh himself endorses the plan, providing wagons and provisions for the journey. The brothers return home with the unbelievable news. At first, Jacob can't believe it, but when he sees the wagons from Egypt, his spirit revives. "My son Joseph is still alive!" He exclaims. "I will go and see him before I die." So Jacob, now an old man, leads his entire clan, 70 people in total, on the long journey to Egypt. Joseph rides out to meet them, and the reunion between father and son after more than 2 decades is incredibly emotional. Joseph settles his family in Goshen, the best part of the land, and continues to manage the famine with wisdom, saving the nation and his own family. As Jacob's life draws to a close, he makes Joseph vow to bury him back in the land of his ancestors, not in Egypt. He then blesses Joseph's 2 sons, Ephraim and Manasseh, giving the greater blessing to the younger son, just as he himself had received the birthright over his older brother Esau. Before he dies, Jacob gathers all 12 of his sons to give them his final words, a series of prophecies about the future of each tribe that would descend from them. After his death, Joseph leads a great procession to bury his father in the family tomb in Canaan, fulfilling his promise. After the funeral, the brothers, fearing Joseph might now take revenge, approach him again, begging for forgiveness. Joseph weeps. He reassures them once more, repeating his profound statement of faith, "You intended to harm me, but God intended it for good." Joseph lives to a ripe old age of 110, seeing his great-grandchildren. Before he dies, he makes the children of Israel promise that when God eventually leads them out of Egypt and back to the Promised Land, they will carry his bones with them. And so the story that began with a boyish dreams in Canaan ends with a promise of a future return, a promise kept hundreds of years later by Moses. Joseph's story is a powerful testament to resilience, the importance of integrity, and the beauty of forgiveness. It shows how even in the face of unimaginable betrayal and hardship, faith can reveal a much larger, divine plan at work. Thanks for watching, and if this story moved you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more deep dives into the greatest stories ever told.